What stands out most about USC when you watch them on film?
I think they're a very talented defense, probably one of the better teams in terms of talent-wise that we've probably faced this entire year. Tough challenge ahead of us. I think they're a very physical team too. So, after coming off an 118-play game, with a 6-day turnaround, our kids, we've been lighter on them this week because we know it's going to be a physical game going in Thursday.
How have you guys handled that, the 5-6 days, and they've been waiting for you guys for 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting, especially, not expecting to have that long of a game on Friday. We gave them the day off Saturday. We hit on Sunday, and then we've pretty much walked through the rest of the week so far. So we've been taking off on them as much as possible because just how taxing of a run that we've got. After you got USC, then you get on to Washington, and we got a tough schedule ahead of us. So trying to be light on them and be focused more on the mental side of things.
Davis called their defensive backfield unreal. What's your assessment?
I agree with him right there. Those two corners are probably the two best in the country. They're fun to watch. I got a lot of respect for those guys. But it's just not those two. It's the entire back end. They got guys running all over the field. So, again, we talked to our receivers about it. We got a tough challenge ahead, and we got to have some of these guys step up to the plate and compete.
Now, Davis said that a lot of what he saw against Oregon is kind of what he saw, at least with USC, as far as they're playing off and giving you guys the middle. What have you seen as far as them schematically that's similar to what you see?
They play a lot of man, a lot of single high. They'll mix up some two high looks into certain situations, but I think the thing that they do the best of is they mix up the perimeter in terms of leverage if they're going to play soft, and sometimes they'll surprise you and jump up and go press man across the board. So, they're going to be multiple, but I think majority of the game you're going to see single high.
The offensive line, I think, has kept Davis driving. You look at the amount of snaps you play. They're allowing about 2 sacks a game, but when you compare that to the amount of plays that you run, that's incredibly low. What have you seen about what USC is going to try to do to maybe cause you some trouble there?
Yeah, I think they have a talented front. We know when you talk to a lot of coaches that have already gone up against them this year, they talk about how physical their front is, and how they talk about the secondary a lot. A lot of the media does, but there's a lot of respect for the front that they have, and I think what they do defensively is very sound and very aggressive, and I think they're going to try to rattle Davis a little bit earlier. I think a lot of that has to do if they can stop the run and make us one-dimensional and they can pin their ears back. I think they can attack it pretty well. So that's going to be a good challenge for us to be pretty balanced throughout the entire game.
Now, the Clancy Pendergast doesn't like to substitute a whole heck of a lot. They more substitute packages as opposed to rotating.
Right.
Does that mean you guys need to go faster?
I think you got to mix it up a bit. I think they do a really good job. When you sit there and you break down, all the tape on them, there's not very many weaknesses to their defense. They play sound, they play hard, and that's what you need to ask. That's what you would ask for in a defense. And I think we just got to keep it multiple and try to keep them on their toes and try to just mix in some things that they may have never seen before, and just kind of go from there with it.
Kind of like the J.D. Hennett 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that one was oiled up for about 6 weeks. I thought that was awesome that I let that kid have an opportunity to catch a 2-point conversion and get in the end zone. I actually told him that I'd allow him to punt the ball in the end zone. Punted into the stands afterwards, but it was a crucial point of the game, and after he scored, I was like, no, and he actually was smart enough not to do it and gave the ball to the referee. Actually, he didn't give the ball to the referee. He tucked the ball and ran off with it, and he's kept it ever since. So he's kept the ball the entire time. So it's a pretty cool experience for that kid.
It looked like Cochran was really hoping it would go his direction, too. I don't think I've seen that guy jump up and down and wave his arms like that.
It's funny when you rep it so many times, you didn't expect you don't really pay attention to Aaron Cochran as much. You're always looking at JD, but when you look at the replay of it, Aaron, he got up there pretty high as a big receiver running out there, which, he claims that he caused a diversion to allow JD to get into the end zone. So I thought that was a really fun play for the entire team, and it was exciting to see the success of it.
When you have a 6'8", 350-pound guy jumping up and down, that's probably a pretty good diversion.
It is, and I saw one of the vines on Twitter of him jumping, which I thought was pretty funny because he just looks enormous out there on the perimeter.
It's got to be the highest he's ever jumped, too.
Oh, he claims he's jumped higher because of his basketball career, but.
What's going through your head when that pass is flying through the air towards JD, and he's got the big lineman gloves on.
Well, we thought that was part of the presentation to hide him because of the big offensive line gloves and the knee braces on, that we thought that they wouldn't go with him just based off of that. He looks like an offensive lineman. But I know when the ball is in the air, we've run it so many times, and we've watched JD catch about every single one of them, so we were pretty confident, and I didn't hesitate at all to call that play, especially in a critical moment.
Were you holding your breath at all?
Yeah, I was a little bit. People might think I'm a little crazy to do that when the game's on the line, but those kids have practiced it so much, and they had a lot of confidence, a lot of faith in the play. So it was pretty fun to watch it be executed after all the preparation we did for it.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.